Welcome to another day of viewing on public access television. We hope you enjoy today's programming.
Well, hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are building a Christmas roller coaster. Oh, happy holidays, by the way, because it's December and it's the holidays already. Anyway, a little Christmas roller coaster. This was kind of part of a collaboration with some people, and I don't know the specifics of what I'm allowed to talk about, but yeah. It was a pretty cool little thingy, so worked on it for a couple weeks, I would say. I started it actually on Thanksgiving, which is funny. I brought my laptop up to Vermont with my family, and my brother was like, you better not work on it, you better not touch anything that has to do with Planet Coaster. And then I was in my hotel room on the last day, and I was like, you know what, so, but, yeah, no, I don't know, it turned out pretty cool, I think. A lot of firsts for me in this coaster. The first time I used Viking pieces in this game, the first time I had used like custom supports, the first time I had done like a spire in this game, or in any of the Planet games in a very long time. Oh, and I recorded a lot of POVs, which is kind of cool. So this one's recorded at 10 frames per second, which is not very great, but that's just what I record my time-lapse Speedbuild thingies at, so it doesn't take up like a ton of space on my computer. But yeah, this is basically what the layout stays like. I think I add like an extra loop at the end, not loop, like a circle, a corkscrew. It's a circle. It's just a circle. But I'm not gonna lie, the coaster's a little jank. It's not the smoothest. Yeah. It's the smoothing tool. I don't know, I use it and then it kind of does me a little dirty, you know? It doesn't really smooth the best. Could just be me. It could just be like a user error. You know, the game is new and I'm not fully... I don't know what I'm doing yet, mostly. Oh, this building changes a lot. If you saw the opening, yeah. Well, you get to see basically all my iterations, and oh, yeah, this video is, I uploaded all the footage into this, my editing software, and I spread it all up by 8, and I didn't record everything. I only recorded like some parts. I forgot to record sometimes, and it was still like 2.5 hours. So I got it down to 40 minutes, which, that's good. So, I don't know, if you want to sit here and listen to me talk for that long, that's up to you. I'll post a thingy in the comments where you can fast forward to the POV. I might not talk for this long because I have been talking all day, because I've been recording this all day, because I can't make up my mind of what I'm going to talk about in this video, so here I am. But I'm also kind of sick, so that's exciting. But yeah, no, it was a really, really cool coaster. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not one to really mess with like art shapes, so it was kind of daunting to build a Christmas coaster and not have any Christmas pieces yet in the game. And I remember on the Bro Nation Discord, I was like, listen, you guys, like this year, we're gonna get festive stuff. Like we have to, you know, it's Christmas time. We got it last time. It's gonna happen. And then it didn't happen. So like you can see here, I was trying to do like a gingerbread thingy with like M&Ms on the roof, which it looks okay. You can kind of tell what it is. But that roof does not stay like that. I mean, if you saw the opening, you know what it looks like. But you can, I kept in like all the iterations, all the footage. So, you know, we can make mistakes together. This tower, I like how it turned out, but it's funky. It's a weird tower, and I add like an octagonal thingy on it. It's an interesting tower. In looking back, this went through a lot of changes, which is interesting. I don't know. I worked on this for a very long time. It feels like. When I finished with it, I was like mentally drained. I remember I finished it on like a Saturday, and I was just like, I don't want to work on a thing like this again for a while. But you can download this, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's 4,000 pieces, or I think it's one less than that. So I got it like just under. But because of that, I don't think that I lit it properly at night, which may be an issue. And that queue is kind of bare, but I'm also like, I was at the part limit and I got everything in that I wanted to get in, so I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking of importing this into one of my parks and then like editing it, so it's kind of like this is like the light version, and I'm gonna do like the like edited full version, kind of. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I might not actually do it, but I have an idea. I'm working on a park that's kind of based off Toontown, and I might put it in there, and then I might, like, I don't know, figure something out with like weird coasters and wacky things to put in there, but that might be a home for it. So this coaster is kind of based off of a coaster at Holiday World, I think is what it's called. I think it's in like Ohio or something. But there's a coaster called Good Gravy, which, great name. Whoever named that coaster, I mean, that's great. But it's basically, I don't want to call it a boomerang. Okay, like, you know those coasters that like you go up kind of like a thing that brings you up, and then it like launches you through like the station, and then you go through like a layout, and then you go up like another little spiky thingy, and then you go backwards, then you go through the layout backwards, then you go into the station, and then you go out, and you go up, and then you go into the station again. It's one of those. It's a very technical explanation I just gave you there. I don't know if it's considered a boomerang, but it has a similar-ish track layout. Well, no, it doesn't, because this has switch tracks, that one doesn't. That one is just kind of a boomerang, but it doesn't have like a loop or anything. Oh, by the way, I learned that Six Flags New England is getting a family coaster. That's exciting. I haven't been to Six Flags New England in I don't even know how long. When was Royals popular? Because they were blasting that last time I went, and that's all I remember. But yeah, no. Like a kid's family coaster, and like a launched one, and it's gonna be themed and everything. And I'm like, that's super exciting. I was doing research into like parks around me, and I didn't realize that Six Flags New England was like an older park. I know, I sound like an idiot. I just didn't know. I don't know, I feel like, or at least my dumb knowledge was just like, oh, Six Flags just built that. No, the park was like Agawam Park, and then they like expanded it and whatever, and the original owner of Agawam Park went to Disney a lot, and that's why there's like a main street. And the reason why I don't like roller coasters is because my first roller coaster was the tornado, I think that's what it's called, or the lightning bolt, thunderbolt, something weather related. It's a wooden coaster, and it's like kind of janky and like jostles you around a lot because it's a wooden coaster from like the 40s. So that was my first coaster, and that's why I don't like coasters. Anyway, second POV. 10 frames per second again. Those barrels near the station, those were supposed to be like in Elf. Oh, are we gonna smash through the doors? Oh, they opened. They weren't synced here yet, so we got lucky. Those barrels at the beginning were supposed to be like an elf Viking magical machine to boost you up the chain hill lift thingy. I was gonna use like cogs and things, and then I realized that that's just, I have to like attach them to those rotatey thingies, and I'm like, that feels like a lot of work. I'm already doing custom supports and candy canes and using a new theme I'm unfamiliar with, and doing gingerbread pieces I'm unfamiliar with, and doing a lot of stuff so I was like, I'm not gonna add to the pile. So, but anyway, second POV. So you can get some more idea of the theming, kind of. It's very short. I forgot it was this short when I was working on it. I do add an extra little loopy bit. A corkscrew. Is it called a corkscrew? I thought the corkscrew was the ones that go upside down. Helix? Is it a helix? That's a mattress. I think it's called a helix. I don't know. But you can see right there, I was doing some art shapes to try and make like icicles, kind of. They don't end up looking that great. So I do end up deleting it, but one of my friends was like, hey, you can use the marble pieces as gingerbread. And I was like, that's genius. And then, later on in the video, someone else told me to color moss and put it, like we have these moss decals in the game, and if you recolor them to white, it kind of looks like little snow patches, which is sick. And here I'm putting beach balls in a tree, I'm adding a star to the top of the tree, and then I forget that the wind in this game kind of makes everything go kind of crazy, so I end up deleting most of the stars. I think all the stars. I'm a star! But because I keep on having like rearrange the stars, because the wind just knocks them about and it doesn't really work. It's fine. Festive next year. Fingers crossed, right? Hopefully festive. Hopefully just bug fixes, honestly. I know this game is kind of controversial right now, kind of. To lightly touch on it. I know that some YouTubers have kind of put out stuff and they don't really want to play the game anymore. A lot of people in like a Discord server that I'm in are talking about it, and I don't know. I think as a simmer, I'm trying my best to stay positive because I'm like, it's just the game, Like they'll fix it eventually. It's kind of one of those games where, like, you can build a simple theme park, or you can get lost in the details for days, literally. It's really up to you how you play it. And I'm one of those people that I don't really know, and I kind of make my own fun as I go along. So, like, I could some days build, like, the most elaborate thing ever, and then some days I just don't want to, So I might put out, like, a jank build the next day. There's no, like, it's weird because we don't really have the best roofs in this game. We don't really have the best generic details currently in the game. So you kind of have to make it all yourself, which, that's fine. But it's kind of a daunting task when you want to make something super generic and then you're like, oh, I can't. So you have to spend like 4 hours making like a roof tile, or you have to make I don't know. I'm sure what I'm talking about sounds ridiculous to a lot of people, but It's not that fun. You know, when you want to just build like a coaster, you want to just kind of jump in, start building, and then you realize you're like, oh yeah, that's right. I have to do this, 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 and this before I can make this look like this. And you're like, oh, frick. Okay, well, dang it. And then you're just kind of like, well, I guess I'll just load this park, and then I'll just come back to it tomorrow. And then you get like nothing done for like a week, and then you're like, I'll just bite the bullet, and then you do it. It takes like 15 minutes, and you're like, oh, well, okay. That's at least my experience. But, Minty Mountain, the sign! Finally, look at that! This little pavilion I thought was kind of neat. I was trying to kind of block that, because, okay, the coaster comes really close, and I added nets on it, and then I underestimated how large everything is in this game, so I put the little lady, the little stone lady, I think Coaster Monkey Studios calls her Sharon Stone, which kills me. But I underestimated how big everything was, so I put her there and I was like, oh, I actually have so much space, like they're not going to be touching the nets. So I was like, well, I'll just build like a little like pavilion, because it kind of hides it. So that, it worked out, I think. Oh wow, I'm moving really quickly in this video. This took me so long to build, and seeing it being built this quickly, I'm just like, ah! I'm building a little pavilion right here. Oh, this was a cool little detail that I did. If you look kind of closely at the queue, you can see that I added like some ropes. So it's kind of like an extended queue, or yeah, well, it's an extended queue. I guess that's the word for it. I just thought it was kind of neat. So, I feel like Marge Simpson. I just think they're neat. Oh, this was me experimenting with these other roofs on this front building. This front building is actually inspired by a sketch from Toontown. If you look up like old Toontown concept art, it's like a boat thingy. I think it's supposed to be like Donald's house, I think. And this was when Toontown was supposed to be more of like a medieval theme. I think they were going for like the old, like Mickey and the Giant, or like the, I don't know the name of it, like where he's like the Pied Piper. No, he's not that. Do you guys know what I mean? Like the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, based on those. Like one of those is like medieval-ish, princessy, like Mickey Mouse damsel in distress type situation. So I think it was based on one of those, but it was like a really cute Toontown with like a big like organ and everything like that. There was like a little boat ride they were gonna have going through, I believe. It was really cute. I love Toontown though. Like any iteration of Toontown, I love. I know it's just like a big plastic like like hellscape because it's hot because it's all plastic. But I love Toontown. I don't know what it is about Toontown. I think I remember visiting Toontown when I was really young. And I have like vivid memories of playing in Minnie's house. I don't remember much, but like they had like this cake, and I just remember loving Minnie's house. It had like that big like front porch. This is the one in Walt Disney World. I was like 7, but I loved that house. I wanted that house. I mean, if Minnie was there, I would have shanked her for her house. Honestly, I would have done that. But no. Oh, adding some lights. Look at that. Back on topic. So, some more little balls that are just beach balls, because they're the only thing in this game, I think, before the patch, I believe, they're the only things that were scaled down enough to... They're like the smallest object you can get in the game, like the smallest sphere. Oh, and this is a candy cane made out of planters. I may have mentioned that one of my friends told me to do this. So it took me a while to do it, and each one of these candy canes is like 100 parts or something like that. Sorry, I'm hacking my knuckles, I shouldn't do that. So I had to use them kind of sparingly, and I was just gonna use like the pipe candy canes, because they look okay. But no, I do like that I did this. I made them a little extra with like the green on them, but I think they turned out really kind of nice. I probably could have used some more variation, but that's okay. See, like, talking this back, and like talking about like improvements that I should have made, it's just me taking notes for next time, you know? Which is fine. And look, I made a little heart, isn't that cute? But of course, the little block break section blocks it. It does what it's supposed to do. It blocks. And I do, like, this is the weird thing about this track layout, is it's very tight, very small. The way I did it was not very great. It's fine. I like it. Again, it's a blueprint you can download for 4,000 pieces. It's on my workshop. I'll link it down below. So you can kind of explore it and whatever. I put a trash barrel in there, so that, because I don't want the peeps walking through that column. Big brain right there. And you can actually put garbage cans on the... You can't put them in queues, but you can put them on the station, which is interesting. So I put one in the station because, I mean, like, when you're walking through like a Disney queue, I mean, they have trash barrels like everywhere. Because if you bring like drinks and food and stuff into the queue, I mean, you want to get rid of it before you go on the ride. If it's like an open drink, you know? Can we talk about, like, the Avatar queue real quick? I'm sorry, I know this is like my 8th video about Disney straight, but I was thinking about how I can improve my queues in this game, because I'm not good at building queues. I mean, you can see, the one that I built is just like a cattle pen with a ramp and a cattle pen, but that one's outside, so it's worse. Third POV! I'll talk about the Avatar in a second, but this is kind of cool, and this is where I'm like, you know what, the front seat isn't the best place to view this ride. Because you're kind of missing a lot. And you can see I left the back wide open. You'll see why I did that later on in the video. Well, I shouldn't say I left it open. I do close it, but there's a reason why certain parts of the building are... I don't want to say unfinished, but yeah, like unfinished, and because it's backstage. A lot of this roller coaster, I think I kind of cheaped out. It looks good from like 2 sides. It's like a corner. And that switch track that we just went over is actually backstage. It's like an iron girder thingy that I build that's like helps support it. Same with the other switch track. So, you know, might be kinda cheating, but I wasn't really sure what to do because you don't really see it. I mean, you do see the first one, but the second one, you have your back to it, so you can kind of do anything back there. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. So I just kind of put up some like big stone walls. Again, might be cheating to kind of like, you know, it's like not really theming, but it's theming. So, oh, here I'm doing a gingerbread house. I do like how this turned out though. I used the Viking pieces, I used a parenthesis above the window, and then I believe I was trying to make like an architectural detail thingy on the window, and I was like, what if I turn it upside down? Bad idea. Bad idea. I do make a snowflake at one point, with different pieces on my keyboard. Like, what did I use? I used the big line above the enter key, and then I used one of the arrows above the alt. What are those called? Oh yeah, see those right there. I was looking down at my computer to find the keys. Yeah. Look at that. And we don't have the right angles, so highlighting this and trying to rotate it was a bit of a nightmare, but it's fine, it's fine. So, a little snowflake. Look at that. Cute, right? I think it's cute. Anyway, so this building is kind of bland from the back. I do add like some windows, a door, some stuff, and it looks fine. It's like a cute little building. It doesn't have the same level of detail from the front, obviously, because they're like that big bay window that I built. I didn't want to put it on the back. Again, the part count. I wanted to make sure it was very, the part count was a very big issue, I would say. It was funny, right? Because when I first started building this, I was like, there's no way I'm going to hit that part limit. There's just no way. I'm not going to build something that's that detailed. It's just, I've never done that. I'm probably not going to do that. And then as I kept building, as I kept on adding more stuff to it, towards the end, I had to actually get rid of stuff. Hence why the backstage thingy is the switch track, hence why, like, there's maybe some missing foliage. So, the 4K limit I didn't think was going to be an issue, and then it became an issue very quickly. Not quickly, I would say towards the end. But I don't know, it was a pretty good challenge, I would say. Because again, I hadn't made anything this detailed in a very long time. So, I keep saying the word I apologize, but I use a lot of like transition words when I'm talking. I can't help it. It's just part of my brain not functioning. But, I'm working on some, what is this? What do you call these like timber bits? Do you just call them timber bits? I know it's like wattle and daub, but like, is this the wattle or is this the daub? And I know that's on the inside of the wall. What's on the outside of the wall? And are the beams on the outside of the wall structural, or are they just there for detail? And do you think if we still taxed buildings by the window panes, like, would you, like, how did they tax, okay, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm like, do you think they would tax every side of the house, or just the front of the house? And then, like, you see those, like, Tudor houses in England, like, the really old ones, and just, like, there's, like, a big bay window in the front, like, a huge, like, it's just all glass in the front, and, like, that's how you know they're rich. Like, rich, you know? Because they have a lot of windows. This is a weird tangent, but fun little fact, right? They used to tax you by the window pane. They also used to tax you by, like, the salt or sugar or something like that. I don't remember. I don't really care. It's history. I should know and I should care. Anyway. Bay window out the back. I was gonna do this, and then I realized it would be a nightmare to try and roof it. But it kind of reminds me of the Harry Potter, Great Wolf Lodge? The Harry Potter Great Wolf Lodge. No, the Harry Potter Great Hall. That's what it's called. How they have that, like, bay window kind of thingy behind where all of the professors sit. I miss those movies. I haven't watched them in a very long time. I know they're on a lot during the Christmas season because they are kind of Christmassy and they are kind of, you know, a lot of people find them really, you know, comforting. So they're on a lot. I didn't grow up really watching the Harry Potter films. And, you know, J.K. Rowling is her own problem that I'm not going to get into. And, you know, you can have your own opinion about that. But, you know, I don't know. So, you know, Harry Potter's just not my favorite thing. It never had been. However, Universal, right? Back to theme parks. This new Epic Universe theme park that's opening. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've been, like, living underneath, like, a rock, like, I am so excited for this new theme park, and I am not a Harry Potter fan. I saw Fantastic Beasts in theaters with my mom. I saw the second one in the theater with my mom. It was so bad. And they're building a whole theme park land to it, which is interesting, because it's kind of like a failed film franchise, and now it's getting a whole theme park land. But it's based off, like, Paris. It's this beautiful, like, Parisian street that they're building. And I don't know. It's just, I think the visuals in Harry Potter and the world is very captivating, and it does what Star Wars does for me, for a lot of people, you know? It's just escapism. So I get why it's so popular. I'm more of a sci-fi guy. I'm not a sci-fi, or excuse me, I'm not like a fantasy person. Like, I cannot get into Lord of the Rings for the life of me. I've tried. I cannot. It's so long. And like Game of Thrones, I was like all for it. And then like they have like that weird lady doing like the magic, and I was like, oh, you lost me a little bit. And then like, I mean, the dragons, okay, they're dragons. That didn't bother me as much. It should have. But there's some people like the magic. I'm just like, but that feels weird. I don't know. I'm just not a fantasy person, I guess. More of a sci-fi person. Which, by the way, that new... Sorry, this is a tangent. I'm sorry. We're like at the almost the end of the video, so I'm tangenting about... Oh, and I'm going to talk about the Avatar queue. Don't forget. But the new Star Wars show, Skeleton Crew, not bad. I didn't hate the Acolyte. I kind of liked it. It was a different take on the Force, and I thought that was pretty interesting. A lot of people didn't like it because I thought it was like, I don't know, whatever. But I liked it. But Skeleton Crew, the first episode, the world that they're on is, not to spoil anything, so if you haven't seen it yet, skip forward like a minute maybe, or maybe not that much. But it's like a suburban Star Wars world. I love that. I love when you get to see like Star Wars people living in just like normal houses, because like not everyone is a Jedi, not everyone is like rich, not everyone is like, you know, a slave on Tatooine, you know. So it's like, it's cool to see like the in between. It's cool to see like what like normal quote worlds look like, you know. So it's really cool. Although I know that they're like not really middle class suburban people, because they have like high ranking whatever. So again, it's not really like they're rich. So, you know, whatever. But they're not like Mon Mothma rich. I love her. I want to be here when I grow up. Like her house in Andor, I just want to live there. It's beautiful. Anyway, the queue on the Avatar ride. It's huge, it's long, it's beautiful, and there's a bathroom and a water bottle fountain in the middle of it. I love that. It's so interesting because the queue is that long, they had to put that in there. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try to work on my queues. I'm gonna try to, you know, incorporate some of that stuff into it, some more like thematic stuff, because I'm really bad at queues. I don't really like queues that much. I don't know. Oh yeah, see, look here, I'm gonna scale it up. I love this new scaling feature. Oh, I cut it out. I apologize. Yeah, no, I put one of those big girder thingies over there, but I scale it up quite a bit, so it's like 2 part pieces. I was like at the limit. And I think, like I said before, this is kind of just like a stone wall over here on this bit. Yeah. I apologize. But like I said, I might go in and I might add this to a park, and I might make this more of like a themed area. That would be kind of cool. Like a holiday world. But this is like a very high budget holiday world. And I remember posting this somewhere, I can't remember where, but someone commented and they said that it reminds them of Efteling, which, that's a huge compliment, because if you compare anything I do to a European theme park, I'm like, oh, that means that okay, that's amazing. I've never been to a European theme park, obviously, and I think they're like the best, so I mean, that's like an incredible compliment, so thank you. So anyway, yeah, this is me checking to make sure that I'm like, okay, how many pieces do I have? I have to like remove like a candy cane. Oh, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, it's basically it. So we're gonna be doing the final POV. Hell yeah! Are you guys ready? Nothing catastrophic is gonna happen in this at all. Nothing. Nothing bad is gonna happen. The ride's finished. It's perfect. Nothing bad is gonna happen. Nothing bad is gonna happen. Something bad has happened. Alright, I hope you guys liked that. It took me a while, so please be gentle. I know it's jank, it's fine. I had a lot of fun with it though, a lot of firsts, like I said, so I hope I can improve on this in the future, you know? You always just gotta do it the first time, and then you can take notes, and then do it right the second time, you know? So, had a lot of fun learning. So, anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. It might be the water park, it might be the Aqua Land, it might be a whole new project, I don't know. So, it's kind of just what gets done first. So, yeah, I'll see you guys then. Maybe even in the new year. So, yeah, anyway, goodbye!